do our roll call, please.
Commissioner Markham.
Here.
Commissioner Miller is absent with notice. Commissioner Taylor.
Here.
Commissioner Smiley.
Here.
Commissioner Johnson.
Here.
Commissioner Wyper.
I'm here.
Commissioner Smith Charles.
Present.
You have quorum.
Terrific, thank you. That takes us to our Pledge of Allegiance, and I'd love for Commissioner Smiley to lead us in the pledge.
I would love to do that. Thank you.
Thank you.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands,
one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. I'll take a motion to approve the minutes dated September 10th, 2025. Moved by Commissioner Johnson, supported by Commissioner Taylor. Any corrections or additions, omissions? Seeing none, we can do a voice vote. All in favor by the sign of aye.
Aye.
Opposed by the same. Hearing affirmative, that motion to approve our minutes has been approved. Next up is approval of the agenda. Moved by Commissioner Smiley, supported by Commissioner Markham. If everything looks in order to you all, we can go ahead and approve the agenda. Approve the agenda. Any discussion on that? Okay, we can prompt a voice vote. I'm rusty. A voice vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? The in favors have it. And that motion carries to approve the agenda. Next up is our first public comment. This is a 3-minute opportunity to speak, and it is requested that it be on items on the agenda, related to items on the agenda. Is there anyone here to speak to this committee today? If you are planning to, you can make your way to the front. Seeing no one making their way to the front, I'll go ahead and close this first public comment. Up next are communications, and keeping in mind the length of our agenda and the matters before us, I do want to encourage folks under communications to note any questions they may have, and we can always follow up after the meeting. These are basically to receive and file. So if I could get a motion to, what's my wording? We could go ahead and receive and file the communications in item 7. Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Smiley. I will acknowledge that there are members of these various departments here with us today, and for the good of, because I have watched this meeting on YouTube before, and a lot of times it's like, what are they talking about? So there are 7 items: facilities management, Oakland County vehicle fleet, fiscal year 2025 update. Item B, management and budget, monthly reports, Pontiac redevelopment project. Item C, water resources commissioner, monthly report, new public works building, October 25. Item D, economic development, monthly report, Oakland Thrive, October 2025. Item E, economic development, business development, quarterly report, U.S. Center for Advanced Manufacturing, October 25. Item F, economic development, business development, quarterly report, Project Diamond Phase 2, October 2025. Item G, economic development, Oakland County Transit Division, quarterly report, local transit providers, April through June. Item H, Board of Commissioners formation letter, public spaces and community places study group. Item I, economic development, business development, OCDRA, rules of procedure, brownfield plan guidelines, and brownfield plan application. Commissioner Markham, I saw your hand was raised.
I just wanted to, the transit people are here, and I just wanted them to know that this week I took People's Express. And they were on time. They were there when I needed to leave where I had been on time, got me home on time. I was really happy. I didn't tell them I was, a commissioner or anything. I just made a reservation through the system. Now they were one day, they're supposed to be 3 days in advance, and they're at 4 days right now, but I had been reading that, so I called in, 4 days in advance. And I was very happy with my service, so I just wanted to let you know that.
Yes.
And it was from Novi to
It
the
was from Novi to the hospital way up in the
new
north end
name, yeah.
of Commerce. So,
There was a legislative summit there.
yep,
So,
and my car was in the shop and I thought, you know, I'm gonna give it a try, and it was great, and I'll use it again. So, you know, and it was cheap, so.
I don't wanna ask more questions, I'm just curious, do you have to qualify at something for People's Express? You can be anybody?
It's anybody, okay, so 14 and above, anybody can ride it.
Okay,
The price varies depending on if you're a veteran or a senior. But for regular people, it's $4 a ride.
okay, right
And
from your door,
door to door.
right, that's pretty awesome. Thank you, commissioners, for that. I also, because I'm not prepared to introduce this fine woman who is joining our Oakland Thrive team, and so we'll have a true, full report from Oakland Thrive and their new leadership next month, so do stay tuned for that. But I did just, so transit folks in the room, little hello, just in case others are wondering, okay? And then Oakland Thrive person in the room, go ahead and give a little wave. I know some of you are here because of actual items under our regular agenda. So I will, Michael Abdallah, are you on our agenda, our regular agenda today? Or just communication?
Communication.
Yeah, okay. And Dom is here as well. And I believe that would be all of that, economic development, monthly reports, business development, quarterly reports, and the like. And then the public space and community places study group. There was a note that Amy shared with me, but now I don't remember what it is. Yes, there's a wonderful person, Brienne Armstrong, online, if we did have questions about that, because I know that one is kind of new and unusual. So Brienne, if you wouldn't mind unmuting, if you're there.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning. Could we have like the 60-second just toe tap of public spaces and community places study group?
Yeah, of course. So when the BOC voted through the budget, they allocated $200,000 to be used as some matching grant funds for this program, and that's up to $10,000 per project. And so I recently reached out to Economic Development Department and been working with them to kind of figure out the best way to move forward with this study group. But the study group's purpose will be to review applications that come through to allocate Oakland County's part of the match. And Commissioner Lubes will be a part of this study group, and then we'll open up some invitations for other leadership. And I see Dom moved to the end of the table, and I know his team is very well versed with MEDC and this program. So I'll pass it over to him if he has anything else to add.
Thank you, Brienne.
That was a great update. I just wanted to mention that John Bryan, our team who leads the Main Street Oakland County program, has been in direct contact with MEDC, as well as the rest of the economic development team and the Board of Commissioners, gathering as much information as possible to put together a first draft of what the guidelines could look like that we could pour over together. So the work has begun in earnest. We're in the research phase, but this looks to be a promising opportunity for main streets and commercial corridors across Oakland County.
Wonderful. So this committee will receive occasional updates and communications, but ultimately, so we're ultimately the committee.
Yes.
But Commissioner Lubes and the study group will do most of the heavy lifting, it sounds like.
Yes.
All right, wonderful. Any questions on this for Dom or Brienne? Thank you, Dom. The other thing that I just wanted to make sure to highlight was staff, particularly Amy, was kind enough to put in here that under our fleet update, we have 926. Oh,
Correct.
hey, hi there.
Good morning, I'm Todd Burkle.
Hi, Todd. Welcome. And again, this is just to let us know about the 926 vehicles we currently have, 12 electric vehicles and 3 hybrid vehicles. Based on future vehicle needs and new product launches, they will be purchasing more hybrid vehicles in addition to EVs. Okay. Is that a good nutshell there?
Okay.
Go ahead, Commissioner.
I'm gonna ask Todd, so,
Okay. Cheat sheet.
how's it going? I mean, it's,
Here.
900 and something's been kind of our constant, are we up, we down, we're always cycling new cars in and, I mean, it's.
In addition to our replacement vehicles, there's been several expansions both in the sheriff's office and the water resource commissioner. Which is really the vehicles that are busy time vehicles. They require frequent oil changes due to the miles they're driven.
And all, how's costs, how's maintenance, how's?
Vehicle acquisition's been a bit of a challenge, as if any of you have purchased a new vehicle in the last 2 or 3 years, you've noticed there's been a considerable jump in the prices of the vehicles, as well as a lot of the incentives have gone away. And
Even with our buying power,
right. It's like I said, a lot of the incentives have gone away. Actually though, from what I'm told, our half-ton pickup trucks are gonna go down a little bit in price this year, so that's a positive note.
and,
Yeah, anything else on the fleet?
We're always available too. If you'd like to see our facilities sometime, you're welcome to come over for a tour.
Okay, thank you. Is it one facility or are you spread out?
It's just one, right across the street actually by the gas pumps.
Okay, yeah, we'll set something up.
Yeah, it's interesting to see with the patrol car build process. I'm not sure if you're all aware, we build our patrol vehicles in-house. They come in and they kind of look like a standard vehicle, and we take them all apart. The interior's all ripped out of them, wiring's run, the computers are put in, the striping. It's quite a process. It takes about 90 hours to build a patrol car.
Wow. All right. Yeah, Mr. Johnson.
I'm curious about that, like, do most, I know that the answer is no if it's most units of government, most large local units of government, do they all do that in-house? How did we start doing that in-house?
I hate to just say it's something we've done forever, but it's true. And there's very few companies on the outside that actually build patrol vehicles. And one of the problems that municipalities run into is when they finally get a new vehicle in, they send it to a facility to get built, and they're like, okay, we'll have that vehicle for you in 4 months.
Right.
You know, and they've already waited almost a year to get the new vehicle, the replacement vehicle. Plus, we take the equipment out of our vehicles, the majority of it, and reuse it, where some of the municipalities do not. So we hope to get at least 3 life cycles out of that equipment.
Question, thank you. All right, I think we've, Ed,
My voice is here.
I just want to add one thing.
please.
Commissioner Wyper, you had a question about our buying power. One thing that I know Todd mentioned yesterday in a meeting that we had, where we can leverage our buying power is when it was very, very hard to get vehicles. Todd is able to call who we purchase our vehicles for and tell them, like, we are on the top of the list, like, we are not gonna wait for our vehicles. And we've been very successful with that, so.
Thank you.
Great to hear. Thank you, Ed. All set with this one, and then out of respect and, well, actually comes before us in the consent agenda. Pardon me, folks, let me just look at my agenda real quick, because I just wanna see OCBRA is on here for anything other than just the communication?
No, they, communication at 9 a.m.
Okay, so I'll throw it over to you at 9 a.m. when we get there. All right, so communications, those were our communications. If no one has any additional questions on any particulars, we can receive and file those, and you're always welcome to reach out to staff for more clarity, other commissioners even if you like. So with that, just making sure we can go ahead and prompt the vote.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you. That motion carries and those items have been received and filed. We'll then now move to consent agenda, which is just the one item, the fiscal year 2026 appropriation with the city of Novi for Tri-Party Road Improvement Program, project number 57291. And this does require a budget amendment.
I'll move it.
Moved by Commissioner Markham, supported by Commissioner Taylor. Thank you both. Any discussions on this? Seeing none, then let's prompt the vote.
Give 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you, motion carries. That takes us to item 9 and 9A. So I'll take a motion to recommend and forward to finance the Economic Development, Business Development amended Oakland County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority bylaws and fee schedule. Moved by Commissioner Smiley, supported by Commissioner Markham. Great. We have Brad Hansen, Kristen Wilfing, and Dom has joined them as well. So please, the OCBRA bylaws and fee schedule, which I know we've gone through with a fine tooth comb. So I'll turn it over to you to please let us know what we're recommending and forwarding.
Good morning, Commissioners. Kristen Wilping with the Economic Development Department. Before you today are some of the guiding documents for the Oakland County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority. With me today, I have Brad Hansen and Don Holmes. Brad, I'll turn it over to you to describe the agenda items today.
Sure. So on the communications, we had 3 items. 3 of the 5 items, the 3 items of the communications were just the receive and file of the Brownfield Plan guidelines, the Brownfield Plan application, and the rules and procedures. Those are receive and files, but these 2 other documents are more of meat and potatoes of the Oakland County Brownfield Redevelopment Authority, the bylaws that needed amendments due to updated 381, Public Act 381 of 1996, which is ruling law of the Brownfield authorities. Those were amended most recently is a couple years ago, so these bylaws needed to be amended. So we worked with Corporate Counsel to get these Brownfield Plan bylaws amended, so that's what's in front of you on that one. And also we worked with CFO over here in the corner here and worked with establishing a fee structure for our Brownfield authority in order to establish more funding for our authority. As you're looking at it, I'm the staff person for the authority. I was getting overwhelmed with the amount of projects coming in, especially with the legislation change 2 years ago with the inclusion of housing projects. So this new fee structure will help establish a little bit more funding to hopefully get some help for me. And as of today with the job posting, there is going to be some help coming down the pipeline shortly. So this fee structure will help with that cause, which you will see there's 3 different structures for a traditional brownfield plan, housing TIF, and a transformational brownfield plan. So those are the 2 ones in front of you for voting on is the bylaws and the fee structure.
Yes, very good. Mr. Whitebird.
I mean, you have been busy, especially since that legislation change. I mean, it seems like you've been in. And then we had a coordinating zoning committee meeting, and our planner said every piece of property is qualified for brownfield now. I mean, with the change in the legislation, so
Sure,
it's,
correct.
you're gonna get busier and busier and busier, right?
Correct, yeah.
So, but it was an interesting comment on his part. I'm like, yeah, now you can find brownfield anywhere.
Yeah, so I think one of the important things to note is, as Brad mentioned, we will have, as a product of the budget process and conversations with fiscal and the Board of Commissioners, the opportunity to hire a senior planner who can come on board and help Brad with the immense volume of projects that he's overseeing over a long period of time, might I add. And I think the other piece that's helpful about the documents that are before you is the change in the fee schedule, right? The transformational brownfield program is also a significant time, significant time is allocated to ensuring that that is executed properly. And this will also help us there. I think we have 1 transformational brownfield that's been approved so far in the county for $79.2 million, I believe it was. And so these are significant long-term projects that need a lot of attention, and this will help us immensely.
Great. When was the last time, or have the bylaws been updated since they were in formed years ago? Okay.
No, this is the only time they've been amended since they were first created in 2001, I believe.
Okay, great. Well then, if no further questions on this item, we can go ahead and prompt the vote on 9A.
We have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you.
Thank you, that motion carries. And so, in a similar vein, we have 9B, which is our economic development, business development Orchard Shops Brownfield Plan located at 4210 Orchard Lake Road in the city of Orchard Lake Village. This is a recommended forward to finance. And we have Brad, Kristen, and Dom here. Can I get a motion to do so? Mr. Wyberg moves, Ms. Taylor supports. Over to you. Thank you.
This is the exciting project in the city of Orchard Lake Village. It's a mixed-use project, so there is some housing component to it, but it is not considered a housing tip project because there is a considerable amount of contamination on site. Former dry cleaner facility. It's actually going to the state of Michigan. There's $1 million EAGLE grant that's been awarded to the site. The city of Orchard Lake Village applied for that grant and was awarded, so there's $1 million grant. So that's why you'll see in the brownfield plan that there was a cap on the amount of money and the brownfield plan at $500,000 for local. So that's why there's a cap on that. So it's a 5-year, $500,000 cap on the brownfield. It's a traditional, what we call a traditional, because it is a true facility or contaminated site. So it is a true contaminated site that the city is excited to get the area cleaned up, and it's gonna turn underutilized area into a mixed use, into needed housing stock for the city.
So how regularly do businesses come to the OCBRA meeting with presentation like this group did?
It's when they have a brownfield project like this, they'll come. If they have a project, they'll come and do a presentation like that.
And how does a company know that they need to do that coming to you thing?
They'll just as far as it's just the whole process itself. So
Yeah. So their local municipality might tell them, like when they go to get a permit or.
Kristen just pointed out to the communications, the rules and procedures, the brownfield plan guidelines. So it's just like something now that we have that established,
Yeah.
we can easily just say, here you go. It's something, before it was something I'm like, well, here's, I'd be on the phone, like, here's what you need to do type of thing. But now we can easily, like, here's it is, a piece of paper and
Right.
But
Streamline it.
previously it was basically I would have an upfront meeting with them. I usually like to have a sit-down meeting with a developer, the city, if the state's involved as far as their approval, we'll sit down and have one big meeting, make sure everybody's on the same page. And we'll go throughout the whole layout as far as time frame and what needs to happen and when.
Okay, good. Well, we're all invited to ride by this area over the course of time as they're, building this out, but certainly excited for what's gonna be available for the residents local to that area. Anything further on item 9B? Seeing,
I just have a
Yes.
quick question. So the contamination is from a dry cleaner? They just basically were dumping their solvents out on the ground?
You'll find that historically, that's what
Oh,
it
I
is.
know.
In every street.
Yep, and that's what we're running into today is that's historically what they did and we're paying the price for it today.
Okay.
Julie Lyons is behind you, like, just appalled.
Here.
But it is how folks used to live. Mr. Johnson and then Mr. Wyper.
Thank you. I know it's not our place to nitpick on development projects. I'm looking at the map in the grand scheme of things. My opinions on parking is well known. But I'm wondering if the word parking is inclusive of not just automobiles. And I say this specifically because the West Bloomfield Trail, which is like the Grand Clinton River Trail, is literally right there. Kristen, I know that you know this, like, can we put some bike racks or ensure that biking is an encouraged mode of transportation?
Yes, thank you for that question. If folks are familiar with Orchard Lake Road crossing number 1, that is where there's a signalized crossing right there at this particular location. We're excited to see its mixed use, so hopefully retail will be on the first floor. But thank you, Commissioner Johnson, for that reminder, and we'll ensure that we can work with the developer to include that as well.
And something else to point out about this project, the developer is going above and beyond, on this project. They're actually fixing, portions of the intersection in the light at the intersection, on their dime, as part of their
Commitment.
Thank you, Commissioner, for the project. So hopefully that helps with the trail as well.
Appreciate it. Big fan of density, thank you.
Absolutely. Thank you. Commissioner Wiper?
Well, I was gonna follow up on the cleanup. A lot of those places had some storage tanks or they leaked too, and they were
Sure.
nothing to do with their chemicals, right? So
Yeah.
it's not uncommon if you drive around, see an empty dry cleaner building or something. There's a lot of places. Now, how long was this one sitting?
Vacant, I'm not sure, is just a couple years. I think it's been underutilized, so I think there's probably been in and out as far as somebody in there for a year or two. And it's a couple different buildings too. The dry cleaner itself, I'm not positive on that one.
People know they don't wanna get into shame the title and contaminated property, and this economic development tool is the way to solve those problems.
Anything further? Mr. Wiper?
Thank you.
Okay. Yeah, so I think that concludes all of the comments, questions on this item. We can go ahead and prompt the vote.
Maybe having some civic center issues. Commissioner Markham?
I didn't save it, sorry.
They all just came through at once. Okay, thank you. We have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Okay, that motion carries. Thank you. And in true favorite fashion, I must say, hear ye, hear ye. Pursuant to Public Act 381 of 1996, a public hearing on the adoption of the Brownfield redevelopment plan for the Orchard Shops Brownfield project shall be held on October 30, 2025 at 6 p.m. in the Oakland County Board of Commissioners Auditorium, 1200 North Telegraph Road, Pontiac, Michigan.
Thank you.
So that we are in compliance. All right, thank you. Item 9C is the Economic Development, Aviation, and Transportation Grant Acceptance between Michigan Department of Transportation and Oakland County International Airport for reconstruct and lighting of taxiways D, F, Y, and Apron Astro Park. This is a recommendation to the board. May I get a motion? Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Smiley. Welcome, Cheryl. It's always good to see you.
Always good to see you.
Let us know about this grant acceptance.
Great, thank you so much. Good morning, everyone.
Good morning.
Cheryl Bush, Manager of Aviation, and this is an exciting grant for us. This is a major parallel taxiway at Oakland County International. It'll be a major reconstruction. It's one of the longest pieces of pavement that we have on the airport. It's a little over 8,000 feet. It includes taxiway Delta and 2 connectors, Foxtrot and Yankee, and the Astro Park Apron. The total project's $6,051,000 and some change, with a state match as well as a county match. So it's a 95-5 split for this project. And we expect to start the project coming up as soon as the weather will allow us in the spring.
Wow, Cheryl, you reminded me, I was supposed to say Delta, Foxtrot, Yankee, when I was saying those letters. Such a missed opportunity. Well, that's exciting. I don't know that I should say exciting. I'm sure Brendan's over here cringing because of pavement. But you kind of have to have it for planes to land safely and take off.
There's a way to do grass,
Yes, so, my questions are answered. Does anyone have any key takeaways or, yes, Mr. Smiley?
Thank you, Madam Chair. I'm new here, so I just was wondering, how, this seems like a big project, and I kind of got a sense from your introduction that it's not something that happens, often, this big of a kind of project. I'm just wondering if it's, when's the last time there was something of this, size and magnitude of a project?
We've been on a track of every other year to reconstruct the primary pavements at the Oakland County International Airport for about the last 8 to 10 years. But this project skipped a year. Some of the federal monies were tied up, and so this has been delayed by a year, and so that's why we're extra excited.
Oh, okay.
So typically we design one year, construct the following year.
Okay, and this one's overdue, so
Yeah.
it's adding to the.
And it's in
Gotcha.
great need. The pavement has been pretty rough. We've had some complaints about it, and so it's time for reconstruction.
Excellent. Okay, thank you very much.
Great, thank you. Commissioner Markham.
Just real quick, I just wanna remind anybody, Commissioner Smiley especially, cause you're new, but she said 95 and
Oh,
5
yeah,
is
I
the
caught that.
funding. So the feds provide most of the funding for our airport. They're the 90 and we're the 5.
Oh, yeah,
And so
I
is the
caught that,
state,
like,
so
Yeah.
I think it's just really important to acknowledge that's how the money flows, is it's mostly federal money in doing these upgrades and improvements to the
For the infrastructure, right? No, we wouldn't be able to afford the maintenance of these pavements without these grants.
Commissioner Taylor? Okay.
Nope, I heard all this in the airport. I'm fortunate enough to sit on the airport committee, and so I saw the whole thing. I'm
I like
very
the way-
excited about this.
I like the way this works where a lot of us sit on these various committees so you can, or I think they're called committees, and be able to speak to them knowledgeably. Did anyone ask already about shutdown? Does that impact your?
It's gonna be done in multiple phases, because this is on the north side of the airport, which is where our smaller T hangars are. So we have about 400 small aircraft hangars that connect to this taxiway. So the construction engineers have designed the whole project to run in small phases. So it's gonna take about a 4-month timeline to complete it, but no one should ever be without access to the runway.
Okay. Well, keep us posted on how those developments are going. And seeing no other conversation on this, we can go ahead and prompt a vote on 9C.
We have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you, that motion carries. And got one more here with you, Cheryl. So item 9D is the Economic Development, Aviation and Transportation Grant Acceptance between MDOT and OCIA to acquire land, rehab runway, acquire snow removal equipment, reconstruct taxiway.
Mike?
Land, design, equipment, and construction. Motion to recommend to the board. Moved by Commissioner Whiteford, supported by Commissioner Taylor. Yes, Cheryl, over to you.
Terrific. Well, this is another MDOT grant that we've been waiting some time for. And as you can see, it's sort of an amalgamation of a number of different projects, which is a little bit unusual. They're using the IIJA funds, which allows us to do that. So it's separate from the typical FAA grants that we receive.
Okay.
So we have the acquisition of 2 large snow removal pieces of equipment, which is really exciting for us. The other 2 pieces are reimbursement for funds that have already been expended that were eligible for grant money and we've been waiting for, so this was the opportune time. So one of them was to acquire land. This was a piece of property that was in our runway protection zone, and we have funded the first phase of it, but didn't have enough funds to cover the second phase. So now we have been fully refunded for that investment, which was really important to the safety at the airport. The Reconstruct Mike is a part of the former project, but they're using the IIJA funds for Mike, so that'll be a part of the Delta project. And then there is some reimbursement for what they call FAA reimbursables, where the airport's required to forward advance funds on large projects for FAA inspector oversight. And then once a project closes, we get reimbursed for our advanced funds. So this is cleaning up a lot of funds that have been out there that we've been waiting for reimbursement for, and along with some new equipment, so. Total amount of the grant is $2,079,582, with state funds of $109,000, and the best part of all, no local match required.
That is very nice. All right, questions or thoughts on this item? We're grateful for it, and we will go ahead and proper vote. 9D.
Commissioner Sotro?
Oh, yes. It's not sending, I guess.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you, that motion carries. Thank you, Cheryl.
Thank
Keep
you
up
so
the good
much.
work. Stay dry.
That's right, yeah.
Item 10 is under Facilities Management Department recommendations. We have a recommend and forward to finance, which is Facilities Planning and Engineering, campus-wide evacuation sign replacement. Motion to do that. Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner White. And Jennifer or Ed, who's here for this? Me, Phil and I could talk to it, but we don't have any visual aids. Well, we will come back to this item, although it's probably just some miscommunication because I know they were ready to show us these new signs. Oh, here we are.
Hi.
Hello.
Notice that Paul is not on. It's just, you're holding up the meeting yet. Hurry up.
This is the signs.
Yeah, this is our campus-wide evac.
Campus-wide evacuation signs.
JPA is. Are we on the JPA item?
No.
JPA was pulled last minute this morning.
Okay, okay. Oh, okay. So I wasn't aware of that. So we are on.
Campus.
Campus-wide signs.
Yes,
Yes.
okay.
There
Yeah,
she
we weren't,
is.
sorry,
No
we weren't
worries.
aware that that got pulled. It was still on our.
Yeah, I'm probably just finding out
I still see it too.
in the last hour.
Oh.
But interestingly, my paper copy does not have it on there, so that's why I didn't even notice it. But glad you all were available to be here. And so we were just teeing up the conversation about the campus-wide evac signs, the replacement, and Jennifer, we welcome you.
Yes.
What do you have for us today?
Thank you very much. Yeah, I'm here to present our evacuation signage upgrade. We are requesting for motion to approve funding project as included in the packet. Are there any questions I can answer for everyone?
Ms. Taylor?
That's okay, I should have did the little.
Oh, it's okay.
I was just asking, since it's campus-wide, where are the signs? Cause I walk through here and I don't.
Very easy to miss.
Yeah, so there will be at very strategic spots from the building. We have about 550 signs across the campus right now.
Okay.
A lot of them are kind of near entrances or key junctions and in corridor spaces so that you can know where the evacuation routes are, inclement weather, AEDs, first aid locations, that kind of thing.
Cause I noticed them by the with register of deeds and stuff.
Yeah,
But I-
there's one out here.
Is it over here? Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
this one right up there.
Alright, thank
And
you.
that was one thing Jennifer did mention in our briefing on this, is that the black border, it doesn't really grab your attention, so
Correct.
if I'm not mistaken, yeah, it is in here, the orange.
Yep.
You know, that we will be implementing, should be,
I was looking at them, but I just didn't know where they were.
right, so the orange aren't out yet.
Yeah, okay.
But the black ones are, and you'll probably notice them now, but
The,
Commissioner Smiley got an opportunity to see one in the wild. This morning. So any further questions on this committee, or are we prepared to?
I like the oak tree you
yeah,
have here.
yeah, I like that.
Yeah.
That was nice.
That's cute.
The oak
Mr.
tree you
Smiley.
had,
Yeah, it was that,
very
yeah,
nice.
Thank you,
it was
ma'am.
one of our teammates came up with that.
That was nice.
Real quick, yeah, so when I was reading the packet, when I first saw like, oh, $160,000, holy, for signs, and then, you know, I read on, of course, you know, like, oh, 44 buildings. So that helped me feel better about it. And then I was kind of distracted, you said something, you say 150, how many signs did you say?
About 550 signs.
550.
Yeah, so
Okay,
each building will have multiple signs, again,
Sure.
just so they're strategic spots within the building.
Okay, I just wanted to verify the number you said of signs, okay,
Yes.
thank you.
Mhm.
Thank you.
Another piece of unsolicited information you all might wanna know is that we don't own the graphic design in these signs we have now. So anytime we needed to make a change or update, we had to go to the vendor who, you know, would, as any good vendor would do, you know, make you jump through a hoop or two. And so moving forward, we will be printing and owning the inserts, and I think managing them even after we're not here. So just FYI,
Yeah.
if anyone
that's
was
good.
interested.
Great improvement.
I had no idea that that was a thing. So with that, if all hearts and minds are clear on item 10A, we can prompt the votes.
Commissioner Johnson?
Yeah, oh, there, yeah.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you. Alrighty.
Thank you.
Thank you, that motion carried. Next up is item 11, Office of Sustainability Recommendations. This is a recommendation to the board, Office of Sustainability Solarize Program Partnership with Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association. I have Nicole Card's name in front of me, but certainly introduce yourselves, and this is a recommend to the board.
Good morning, Commissioners. Marshall.
I'm so sorry, let me get my motion. Commissioner Johnson moves, supported by Commissioner Markham, thank you. Over to you.
Thank you. Sorry about that.
It's
I'm
okay.
even newer than Commissioner Smiley at this. Marshall, did you want to introduce yourself? I don't want to
Yeah, good
mispronounce
day,
your last name.
Commissioners. I'm the Director of Michigan Solar Communities with Great Lakes Renewable Energy Association. I left on your desk here our Michigan Solar Communities Guidebook. This is really an exciting resource. Took 3-4 years in development in partnership with the Office of EGLE, Environment, Great Lakes and Energy. Here to present our Solarize program to you. I'll let Nicole take that away.
Great, thank you.
Thank you. So we're requesting board permission to host up to 3 Solarize events next year in 2026. And it would be in partnership with GLREA, who are the ones who organize the program and would run the events. Essentially, these are free community events that provide education about solar power, and they give attendees the opportunity for a bulk buy discount if they're interested in pursuing solar after the event. And before I get into more details about what it is, I just wanted to mention one thing that it isn't, which is utility scale solar. This program has nothing to do with large scale solar. It's only for what we call accessory use solar, which is solar power that powers the building that it's installed on. So these events would have no impact on large scale solar within the county in case that's a concern for any of your constituents. But under our recommendation, GLREA would host between 1 and 3 community events. These are completely free, and they would be for residents, commercial building owners, business owners, nonprofits, and places of worship. GLREA would select a qualified solar contractor who would come to these events. They would present about the process, the cost, everything like that for installing solar on your home or building that you own. And then it's no obligation, so attendees can go home and do nothing, but folks who are interested can sign up. And depending on how many people sign up to get solar, they would get a bulk buy discount. So you can correct me on this, but I believe it would be up to 15% of the discount, depending on how many folks sign up, which we think this is a great opportunity since there is a gap in incentives from the federal tax credits disappearing for residents this year and for commercial building owners, I think in 2027. So we think this is a great opportunity to provide financial savings for residents and to promote renewable energy. And it will also allow our office to build some new connections with residents and community institutions. And the last thing that I wanted to mention is that we're proposing multiple events because Oakland County is quite big and we want them to be in an accessible driving distance for residents throughout the county. So if there's anything you wanted to add, Marshall?
Yeah, so a little bit about GLRA, 32-year nonprofit, one of the oldest groups in Michigan doing education, policy, implementation of solar here in Michigan. Our Solarize program under my leadership in the last 14 months has really taken off. We've done over a 0.5 megawatt of energy, nearly 100 installations across the state of Michigan. Work with 15 different local units of government across the state. Was just in Elgin County, Munising, UP was a lot of fun going up there for our event. I live in Lansing, did a very successful Ingham County. That was our first county approach. And really the idea that we're coming here today is to dispel some of the confusion on who's eligible for the program. So when we go from a county approach, it's everyone in Oakland County is eligible for these events. The idea behind multiple events is, as Nicole said, to break up that drive time, some of the advertising, we can kind of hone it in. And really looking forward to, especially in Oakland County, typically the program was residential, but we're expanding that as we did in Ingham County to businesses, nonprofit, and places of worship. These are a little larger systems, the savings is bigger, and those tax credits are still available through 2027. So it's really a key education moment, especially for businesses to say, hey, this is free money on the table, there's bonus depreciation available, solar is never gonna be cheaper than what it is now with 30% federal tax credit, up to a 15% from the Solarize discount. And kind of the idea behind that is when we have economies of scale, group purchasing power, have to pull less permits, crews can stay in the same community, things like this help reduce that cost on solar. And so that's the program in a nutshell. Happy to answer any questions people might have.
Thank you. Very fascinating, and I think for me, for sure, I do have some additional questions, but more so personalized, so I won't take up the time of the meeting. Any commissioners' questions on a broad scale? Seeing none in this moment, we can go ahead and prompt the vote. You guys did such a great job explaining it.
And if there are further questions on the handout here, marshall@glra.org, feel free. I'm an open book. Call me, email me, whatever works for you. You'll see my contact information on that sheet there. Yeah, it's kind of buried in one of the tabs on the Solarize side. I ran out of business cards, but
It's okay.
I'm pretty easy to find. So
Marshall@glrea.org.
that's right.
Okay.
Marshall with 2 L's.
Commissioner Taylor?
Yes, I didn't get it. Oh, here it goes. I had to hit the e-vote button.
All right, you have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Great, that motion carries, and this is a recommend to the board, so looking forward to seeing this get across the finish line.
Very good.
Thank you. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you,
Thank you.
Nicole. All right, up next is item 12, which is our transit ad hoc committee recommendations. First one is 12A, Economic Development, Oakland County Transit Division 2026 Access to Transit Grant Program. This is a recommend to the board. I'll take a motion to do so. Mr. Wiper moves, Mr. Johnson supports, and who might be here? I see a name that's not yours, so just checking.
Apparently we have a whole group up here.
You do.
Good morning, Madam Chair, members of the committee.
Thank you.
My name's Eli Cooper. I'm the Oakland County Transit Manager. Lindsay Wallace is our principal planner, and she did the presentation for the ad hoc committee. We should probably make sure in the future that either she's here to present it again or that we change the presenter so there's no confusion on that.
Got it, thank you.
Also with me is Kristen Wiltfang, who is familiar to the committee. What you may not realize is Kristen's one of the charter members of Team Transit here at Oakland County. Before I was hired, Kristen ran the program, and she's also what I call the CVT whisperer. So the Access to Transit Grant Program is providing support to our cities, villages, and townships. And if I have any questions, because I'm still not new anymore, but relatively newer, Kristen's a great resource in making sure that we're doing the right outreach and information sharing with our local government partners. Also, believe it needs no introduction, Don Holmes, our Economic Development Director. The item before you is the Access to Transit Grant Program, which was initiated last year. What we as the transit team that we're striving to do was to work with our local government partners to increase access, convenience and safety to transit services countywide. Through the ad hoc committee, a funding level of $2 million was made available and advertised to local governments. We had received 10 applications, funded 6. Total amount granted was just under $900,000, and those projects are advancing as we talk. As a matter of fact, we've just reached the first year where we've reached out to each of the 6 award recipients for them to provide us a status update. The types of projects that we funded last year include access to transit, side paths, shelter improvements, non-motorized facility design, road diets in downtown Clawson, which enables transit to be more efficient and effective, as well as safety for pedestrians crossing the street. Keeping in mind, you get on a bus one direction, when you come back, you're on the other side. Sooner or later, you gotta cross that street, and safety is a paramount issue. So the program that we brought forward to the ad hoc committee, again, is a recommendation for $2 million. And a list of types of programs or projects that are eligible include shelters, sidewalks, lighting, intersection design, universal accessibility, on and off-road bike access, mobility hubs, wayfinding, and enhancements to park and rides. That's broad view. With your recommendations to the board, we're prepared to announce the program in November and solicit applications for bringing back to the board for approval.
Good stuff. Mr. Johnson.
Well, it's a great program. I really believe in it, and I think that it makes a lot of our communities more eager about participating in transit. Also, and this is not per the item here, but it's for all of you not on that committee. We found out that you can adopt a stop if you've got a smart stop. You can like do beautification. So we can talk about that later. Commissioner Markham was there and wants to give you money for that. So no, my only thing, and this is just a super nitpicky, but I noticed in the on OU's campus, the picture that's attached to the very bottom has a hostile architecture bench. If we could try to make sure you know what I'm talking about. Less hostile architecture.
Yes, agreed.
But no, it's good, thanks.
I need to see that, what you're referring to. All right. Any other questions? Commissioner Markham?
So it was $2 million this year, and we're looking for $2 million next year, but you've only spent $900,000 this year. So you wanna talk about that a little bit?
So because the transit millage fund is a reserved fund, the funds that were allocated but not expended revert back to the fund itself. The reality with last year's program, it was the first time, and it was not as, if you will, we didn't receive as many applications as well not subscribed. We have received several communications from other communities that did not participate in last year's program, as well as those that were through the design process this year will likely be looking for construction or implementation funding. So we believe $2 million is still an adequate amount to put out for communities to respond to.
So the communities are communicated with, hey, this money's there, apply for it?
So,
And we'll also do a webinar in advance of the application due date, just to be able to answer any questions or help think through some of the projects that are being proposed. So I keep reminding Eli that it's very difficult to grant out money and have it spent, especially on infrastructure projects, because there's always delays, and most folks don't realize the amount of time that it takes just to get through the design process and all the permitting too. So we're very excited to see the fiscal year 26 program be proposed.
And I'll take the moment to admit that Kristen is right, it's hard to give money away.
In a way.
All right, I think we have covered all questions and comments on item 12A, and we are now going to come to vote.
Commissioner Smith Charles,
Yes.
Commissioner Taylor,
Yes.
we have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
All right, that motion carries. So 2026 Access to Transit Grant Program moves to the board for recommendation there, or for support there. Next up is 12B, which is the Economic Development Oakland County Transit Division 2026 agreement with North Oakland Transportation Authority, NODA, for public transit services. This is an interlocal recommendation to the board. Moved by Johnson,
If it's all the same to you, could I move B, C, D, and E together?
yes,
Which is what I was gonna do too.
please and thanks. So I'll take a motion to recommend to the board items B, C, and D. Is that what you said?
And E.
And E. And so if there's a person to make that motion, Commissioner Johnson moves, Commissioner Markham supports. Make sure you have time to
I have that.
click on stuff. All right, so we're teed up for B, C, D, and E. And if there's redundancies, you can just say this applies in both or whatever like that.
So I appreciate that, Madam Chair. The first item that is relevant to all of these agreements is back in 2023, the county offered 3-year agreements that sunset on December 31st, 2025 with all 4 of these operators. What we're bringing before the board at this time is a renewal agreement. And so in the past 2 years, we brought exhibits that were updated. There's actually a renewal of the parent agreement as well as the detailed exhibits that are attached. So it's a little more comprehensive of an action. The parent agreement that's been brought forward is generally consistent. There's a small change with regard to cooperation on planning as well as a future quote-unquote sunset date, because we're not gonna obviously adopt the agreement to expire as soon as it's adopted. So those are the changes to the parent agreement. With regard to the individual agreements, all totaled, it's about $21.9 million for all 4 of the operators, which again, to put it in context, is substantially more than where we started back in 2023. Unique to NODA is that last year, as a result of their growth, they needed to expand their facility. They programmed a little under $2 million for a facility renovation. Because of the complexities of procurement and design, they were not able to construct the project this year. And so those funds, similar to the Access to Transit funds, lapse back into the fund because the contract's expiring at the end of the year. So that the NODA contract includes 1.762 for reauthorization of funds that were awarded last year. So there's the full amount of 6.8 plus 1.7, yielding a total agreement with NODA for $8.7 million for both the construction or renovation and expansion of their facility as well as service for the year. Included in that amount is acquisition for 8 new transit vans. And that's gonna be, the number changes by operator, but there's a number of vehicles that are being added to the fleet. And what happens as we add vehicles, they're added because there's a demand for services that are not currently being met, and the ridership will continue to grow. This is always good news for us as staff to share with the committee that the resources that we're investing are helping move our residents, citizens, seniors, disabled folks to medical appointments, social visits, et cetera. It's really been a wonderful experience for me as staff to see all the goodwill that accrues as a result of these investments. Walking through quickly, OPC, $2.7 million agreement, 2 additional vehicles. Again, OPC is a smaller operator, so it's not as robust of an agreement as the others. The third one is People's Express, serving in the southwest part of the county. Their contract is for $7.1 million. There's nothing other than that's their request for this year. It includes 6 new vehicles. Heard there was a question about or a comment about that they reserved, they were like out 4 days, not 3 days. We're trying to work with them to address that issue. There's two components. One is the actual system supply side, which is number of vehicles. So we're working with them to expand that. The other part, which we're keeping our fingers crossed, SMART will procure updated regional dispatch software, which will make the ability for the operators to be more efficient and effective in scheduling and providing rides. So we're hoping to eliminate any delays or changes from the stated policy on scheduling. The last of the four is WODA. WODA's agreement is for $5.3 million. It's a little less than the others, and the reason for that is there was a reconciliation process. So in 2024, we had a contract with WODA for an amount of funds. Because of their inability to acquire vehicles and hire staff, they did not use all of the resources that we allocated to them. And but they still had invoice us for that. We worked over the course of the last year to come up with the definition of the reconciliation amount. So that $850,000 has been factored in. So their total amount of county resources that they'll spend will be in excess of $6 million, but we're only awarding $5.3 million additional. And they have the largest order for additional vehicles. They're looking at 12 new vehicles in 2026. That's a quick overview of the similarities and differences. Any questions?
Very comprehensive. A few people here are really keyed in on this committee already, so, but Commissioner Markham, what do you have for us?
Well, you mentioned that SMART is doing something with the overall communication connection thing. That's always been one of the things I'm really looking for. Can I get from where I am to where I wanna go, tell me how I'm gonna do it and schedule me to do it across People's Express, Smart Flex, Smart, whatever it is, DDOT. So how long do you think it's gonna be till what are they projecting is when they're
I
gonna
want to be
have
very
it?
careful and preface.
I can understand that.
What I'm going to say by this process started 2.5 years ago.
Yeah.
My first meeting with the providers and SMART announced in 2023 that they had procured a new tool. Unfortunately, the tool failed when they tried to deploy it. So, but the reason it's 2.5 years ago is first they had to try it, it had to fail, and there's been a lot of machinations between SMART and the software provider to reconcile who's responsible for the failure and what the consequences. That issue aside, SMART began a procurement process this spring. They have a group of proposals that they're reviewing. They have invited in a representative from each of the local counties in order to participate in the solicitation process. Fingers crossed that by the end of this year, beginning of 2026, they will make a selection, and then the process to deploying the software will begin. The other thing that SMART is doing that they did not do a few years ago is they also have a project manager contract that they've put out. So they've realized that there's more information necessary to manage a bits and bytes project. So they've actually recruiting outside of the body of the contract for the software development specialist to help guide the process as it moves forward. Fingers crossed that by the time we get into the first quarter of 2026, this process will have a selected vendor and the implementation will be well underway. Fingers crossed.
Thank you. Anyone else? All right, we are going to prompt the vote on item 12, B, C, D, and E.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Motion carries. Thank you.
It does feel like we've made a lot of progress. I felt that way when I took that bus ride the other day. I was like, we didn't have this 3-4 years ago.
That's true.
Part of the communications item, should the committee choose to go back and look at it, we meaning our local providers, provided 90,000 trips last quarter.
Yeah.
This is substantially from last year, it was under 70,000. So the amount of rides that are being provided, multiply a quarter times four, hundreds of thousands of rides a year. This is honestly, and I mean this, been in government since the 1980s. This is a wonderful experience to be helping as many people as we do. And I thank you for, and the voters for supporting the village and enabling us to deliver these services.
Yeah,
Thank you.
thank you. Alrighty, that takes us to item 13, which is Materials Management Planning Committee recommendations. A recommendation to the board, Economic Development Interim Approval Process for Solid Waste Processing and Transfer Facilities. A motion please to recommend to the board. Moved by Commissioner Johnson, supported by Commissioner Smiley. Whitney, good morning.
Good morning, Commissioners. Thank you for the opportunity to present this information.
Yes.
We're here today seeking your approval for a process that we've developed to receive proposals for solid waste processing and transfer facilities in an interim period where our solid waste plan does not apply to these, but we do not yet have our new materials management plan adopted. As you may recall, we've been here several times talking about the materials management plan. Updates to Public Act 451, Part 115, which is all about the solid waste statute in the state, are requiring that for any new facilities, solid waste processing and transfer facilities, that in this interim period, they can be approved by EGLE to issue construction permits if the local municipality in which it's to be located and the county approve of this in writing. So it's very complicated. A waste processing and transfer facility is where a waste hauler will bring in waste that they've collected, either roll-off dumpsters or residential pickup, bring it back to a facility, compact it, that before they take it to a landfill. That's the transfer part, and the waste processing is if they're going to take that waste and take out metal or rebar or something that's going to be recycled, so they're separating out some parts. So those are the types of facilities we're talking about. So in order to evaluate any proposals that might come in this interim period, we developed this process. And our process is that they will go to the local unit of government first and receive all of the necessary approvals through ZBA, through Planning Commission, and then ultimately through the legislative body of that municipality, and then bring that to the county for approval after that. With that, we're asking for your approval of this process that we've developed, and I'd be happy to answer any questions.
Wow, thank you. One of the reasons I think the county is such an integral part of the fabric of our society, things like this. So any deliberation or questions, comments on this, anything further? I see no hands, and we can then go ahead and prompt the vote on 13A.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Awesome, that motion carries.
Thank you very much.
Thank you.
We'll probably be back next month with an actual proposal for following this process, so.
Excellent.
Stay tuned.
Yes, thank you.
Thank you, Commissioner.
So at this juncture, I'll entertain a motion to I'll take a motion to enter into close to discuss what am I trying to say? For the purposes of for the purpose of requesting an authorization to negotiate property. The purchase of property, thank you, I knew it was a different word. So a motion for that.
I'll do the motion for it.
Moved by Commissioner Smiley, supported by Mrs. Taylor. And we'll do a roll call?
Roll call.
That'll be okay?
Roll call.
For closed session.
Yeah, it's roll call for closed session.
Yeah, for sure.
It is.
Lenny knows. It's different. Trust her. missed
I
it.
haven't been here since September, I don't know what's going on.
It does feel like a long time.
Scale.
Oh, they're there for us. Go ahead and vote on entering into closed.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Thank you, motion carries. We'll take a few moments to get organized and thank you so much.
The Wow, I wouldn't have thought to do that.
Alrighty. The chair will entertain a motion that the department be authorized to proceed in accordance with the directives discussed in closed session. Moved by Commissioner Taylor, supported by Commissioner Smiley, and let us prompt the vote, please.
It costs so much to try to review. I feel like we should. I do too. But like, you'd have to have a locked bipartisan agreement to not use it against each other.
Right.
You have 6 yeas and 0 nays.
Excellent, that motion carries. Thank you, gentlemen.
Thank you.
Keep up the good work. That takes us to our second public comment. Is there anyone here who'd like to address this committee on any item under the sun?
Crazy.
Seeing no one moving to the front, is there any other business to come before this committee? Seeing nothing, I will go ahead and adjourn this meeting. Thank you for your